Buenos días. Bienvenidos. Son las 6 de la mañana. It is 6 in the morning, and we are here for AM Excellence 57. I'll take a minute to let the intro roll on. That way we can let people know that I'm here. So, made an executive decision. I made an executive decision to switch books. The book I was reading, Drive by Daniel Pink, good book, great book. It was a little, for me at this time, a little too scientific, and I like to do more of the hands-on, more of the in the trenches, getting the work done, learning from that type of person versus a more scientific approach. My personal choice there. And you're along for the ride. So the book we're going to dive into now, the book we're going to dive into today, and this one was passed on to me by my brother. It is called Above the Line, Lessons in Leadership and Life from a Championship Season by Urban Meyer. Now, Urban Meyer is a college football coach, and if you're thinking, oh man, college football coach, I don't want to watch these videos, I barely know anything about Urban Meyer. I know great leaders. I know he is a great leader from his track record, so that's why I'm diving into this book. And I have to say that I almost cried this morning when I was reading it. I got chills when I was reading it. So it's very, very applicable to the issue, the subject of leadership. I'm just going to dive into it because there's so much to share. The first thing I want to take away is this. He says, leadership isn't a difference maker. It is the difference maker. This is AM Excellence 57, the difference maker, leadership. Leadership isn't a difference maker. It is the difference maker. Talent will get you about 7 or 8 wins, referring to a college football season. Discipline pushes it to 9 wins, maybe. But when you add leadership, that's when magic happens. He goes on to say, leadership is influence based on trust that you have earned. I'm going to repeat that. Leadership is influence based on trust that you have earned. When I talk to groups of people, I say, give me an example of a leader. And 99.9% of the time it's names, and I may have mentioned this in previous videos, names like Tom Brady, the President of the United States, teachers, coaches, but no one ever stops and considers, I'm a leader. I lead myself, self-leadership. I lead myself on a daily basis, the way I talk, the way I walk, the way I look, the message or the messages that emanate from my body. That is leadership. And Urban Meyer is talking about the trust that you develop. So you've developed trust in me that I'm here every day at 6 a.m. I have to own that I have to own that. I have to lead myself in being that person. He goes on to say, a true leader, and this is very cool, a true leader is someone who is going someplace and taking people with him. A catalyst for elite performance who enables people to achieve things they wouldn't achieve on their own. A true leader is someone who is going someplace and taking people with him, enables people to achieve things they wouldn't achieve on their own. And that's not just talking about national championships. That's not just talking about world UFC belts, etc. That's maybe talking about helping someone lose weight, maybe helping someone get in front of a crowd for the first time and speak. Maybe that's helping someone learn another language, enabling them to do things that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to do. He also talks about this idea of personal development. Now, personal development, if you remember, I remember as a kid, I would go to Barnes & Nobles or B. Dalton Books, these different bookstores, and I would see this section for self-help. And I remember self-help always sounded like foo-foo and fluffy and just made me, I don't know, it sounded not for me. And then later on, after I got knocked out a couple years ago, this new term, personal development, was thrown into my life and became a part of my life. And Urban Meyer, you know, he reiterates that, he emphasizes that idea of getting a little bit better every day. Now, if I say that to you, if I say to you, you know, the goal of I believe the goal of our lives is to get a little bit better every day. And if you have to look at me and say, better at what? Then you're missing the point. Getting better in every single thing you do. The way you train your brain, the food you eat, the type of parent you are, the type of coach you are, the type of teacher you are, the way you drive your car. It's just that there's this whole world out there. And I believe, Urban Meyer believes, our duty as human beings is to get better at those things. He says, to me, it's all about getting better. I am a long way from perfect, but I will put my passion for self-improvement next to anybody's. Now, this is the coolest part of that statement. So he's talking about self-improvement, personal development, getting better. And then he says, maybe the only thing that rivals that in my makeup is the distaste I have for losing. Such a powerful, cool message. Because the way it is today, oh, it's okay, you're a winner, everyone's a winner, it's okay, you did great, everyone gets a trophy. No, that is not right. That is not true. That is not right. I don't believe in it. I won't raise my kids that way. Even my daughter's 3 years old. I let her know when she doesn't win, or when, that you're not always going to be a winner. Sometimes you're going to cry. Sometimes it's going to really stink. But as always, the message that I stress, winning, I love winning more than anything. Just a little notch above that is this desire to improve and to get better, so that if you do fall short of that win, that top level goal of getting better is the focus. Whew, I'm sweating from that rant. And here's another thing, and this touches, morning Joey, and this touches on the last book that I read, Relentless, where he talks about your core and your gut. And it's funny, the failure is a mindset, success is a mindset. The things that I'm going to read in this book probably resonate with the things that I've read in other books, because success is a mindset. The success principles work across the board. He says, I've learned one thing. It's that you have to be true to yourself. You can't be one way on Monday and another way on Tuesday. I would guess that most of the people listening to this video right now are in a leadership role, whether you're a parent or whether you're a coach, a boss. You have someone or a group under your leadership, under your guidance. And he's saying, I've learned one thing, that you have to be true to yourself. You can't be one way on Monday and another way on Tuesday. How you do one thing is how you do everything. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Okay, cliches and sayings are over. The point is this: you have to identify who you are. You have to identify what you stand for and be that person every day. It's not, I don't want to sit here. I feel like I'm on a soapbox right now, so I'm just going to move on. And he says, this commitment to excellence, this passion to get better, truly is at the heart of a champion. Now, the last thing that I'm going to touch on today, there's so much, but the last thing I'm going to touch on is this. It's a quote, and I'll be posting this on my social media today. He says, average leaders have quotes, right? I'm sitting here, I'm giving you quotes. That's an average leader. Good leaders have a plan, okay? When I wanted to get to the UFC, I had this dream, and then I made a plan, okay? And then he said, exceptional leaders have a system. Exceptional leaders have a system. So I would ask you, what is your system for living? My system for living comprises 5 elements of excellence. 1, create a vision. 2, identify your core values. 3, define your own success. 4, live with accountability. And 5, surround yourself with the best. Those are my 5 elements of excellence. That structure is the system that I live on and that I teach on a daily basis. So I would say to you, what is your system? What are the things that you do day in and day out that make you feel good about yourself, provide a positive impact on those people around you? And this is an actual activity, an actual challenge. Figure it out. Write down quotes that have helped you in the past. Write down lessons that you've learned. Write down experiences and what you took from those experiences. That's the brainstorming part. And then once you get through the brainstorming part, you can actually develop your own system. And then you're not just wandering here, wandering there. You're living your system. And as Urban Meyer says, average leaders have quotes. They sit on the side and rah, rah, rah. Good leaders have a plan. Hey, this is what you should do. But exceptional leaders have a system. This is what you should do, and this is how we're going to do it. One of the things that I like to talk about is creating a vision. And looking at people who are where you want to be and identifying, I'd like to attain that quality from that person. I'd like to be more energetic. I'd like to have more self-confidence. I'd like to be more active in my daily life. That's all great, but you have to make a plan to get there, develop your system, close the distance between who you are and who you want to be. Okay. I wanted to read this I forgot to mention this earlier on. So Urban Meyer, and this is just a note. It definitely pertains to leadership, but the value of family, the value of the people close to you and close around you, whether it's family or friends, your inner circle. So Urban Meyer, this is a really neat anecdote that I just want to share because it's pretty cool. So we all have this issue. There's this issue of bullying, especially in schools, but I mean, with the internet, it's everywhere. I have a screenshot. I just got a message yesterday on Twitter. Someone made a Twitter handle that's called Brennabad, right? And it's a picture of me. I think it's a picture of me getting knocked out. And then if you go to their profile, they have no followers. They're following one person, me. So they created this thing just to make fun of me. And it says like the profile thing is I'm Spaniard and I stink, except they didn't use the word stink. They used a worse word. So anyway, that's out there. Bullying is out there. And Urban Meyer talks. He says this. Another time, my little sister Erica was getting bullied at school. I think she was in first grade, and this kid wouldn't leave her alone. My father told me I needed to take care of the situation to protect the family at all costs. Unity, family. The next day, I saw the kid at school, and as directed by my father, I punched him in the face. I was in third grade. It was the first punch I'd ever thrown. I got sent to the principal's office, but I was a hero to my father. You sit at the head of the table today, my father told me. You're a man now. Family is everything. How cool is that little story? It's an issue in and of itself. It's bullying, how to handle it. But my mission is to employ self-confidence in people, to help them feel good about themselves. When I was in junior high school, I don't want to say I was a target for bullying, but because I was so focused, good morning, Annie, but because I was so focused on my goals, that set me aside from a lot of people, and I was the target for the bullies in school, especially junior high school. Thanks, Dustin. Especially in junior high school. So maybe that's the reason, and I was fortunate to have the family around me, so maybe that's the reason that I want to spread this message and basically help people feel good about themselves, develop the confidence that if you're a star athlete or if you're just a normal person, to feel good about yourself. So, sweating from that one. So, have yourselves a great day. This is AM Excellence 57. I forget the title. AM Excellence 57. Mañana, I'll be back with AM Excellence 58. In the meantime, visit charlie-brenneman.com. All kinds of cool things if you sign up for my email list. We just started a new thing with a podcast. Where we're breaking down every episode, creating outline, creating a guide to every episode so that you won't have to take the notes. We'll do it for you. So you can get all that and more at charlie-brenneman.com. Have yourselves a great day. It's Friday. Have a nice Friday. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for AM Excellence 58.